Today I'm going to be walking you through my foolproof go-to best version of my makeup for not every day, but when I'm going out to dinner, when I am recording, things like this, special events, anything, this is my go-to look. I'm gonna walk you through what I use and how I use it to get this look. I used to have and I still have it in my basement, but a huge vanity full of makeup, and I was always using different things and doing different colors, and I never really found what worked for me. And I will say for the last probably 2 years consistently, I have done some version with a few tweaks here or there, depending on the season, what colors I need, all of that, of this look. Now, I used to have the big vanity, right? I literally use this makeup case that I got from Amazon. I have just a mirror that I've had forever. And then I have this little set of brushes. This is from Hourglass, and I'm gonna open it up carefully because I have 2 brushes sitting in here that are not held in, which are these 2 right here. But for the most part, I have all of the brushes I use in here. And over in this little section, I have a few eye brushes that I grabbed for. So everything is very compact, very easy. If I am going away, I don't have to think anymore, which is the best feeling. I simply just grab these 3 things and I'm ready to go. Now, this makeup case, I will also show you, it kind of opens up. I've had a couple videos that I've talked about this. It is great. It kind of has a Louis Vuitton feel to it. I had the brown one, and then I recently got the black one, I think this last year when it went on sale. I primarily keep all of the things over here that are kind of like mascaras, concealers, blushes. I have some lipsticks along here. These are all lip liners and lip glosses because that's probably the thing I vary the most. And then I have powders and shadows all in here. And this is everything. So let's talk about this makeup. This makeup for me is very simple, very easy, more of a focus on my skin and my face than really crazy eyes or anything like that. And I've just found as I've gotten older that the look of less is more for me. Now, it does not necessarily mean less products, because this may to some of you be so many products. But this is what I have found that works for me, that is foolproof, and I know I will look and feel confident in it. Which, as I've gotten older, I've really learned that I am better off wearing what makes me feel confident than trying to mix it up or make it look different for different events. And I've really grown with that. So I used to start with my foundation first. And it used to be the first thing I always did because I felt like I needed to match my skin. A lot of times my face skin is lighter than my neck, especially around this time of year. And I would put that foundation on first to really match everything up. But that kind of, for me, created more layers under my eyes and on my eyes than I needed. And so I've kind of changed it up. I do an eye base that is just neutralizing everything and really getting it kind of sticky from Sigma, has a little bit of a pink undertone to it, and it really just helps everything stay long term. And then I add the Giorgio Armani, and it is a light brownish tone color that really, for me, works under the eyeshadows I'm using. It gives me good depth to the shadows and really helps them stay even more. Now, with that being said, that is usually something I do during the day anyway, because it's simple, it's easy, it doesn't require a lot of things. I personally also, you can rub it in with your finger, but I like applying it with a brush. Those are the first 2 things I start with no matter what. And then I go on to my eyeshadow. I have been using this one single quad for over a year from Tom Ford. The color is called Sous Le Sable. The 4 colors in here work for me no matter what I'm doing, from a daytime look to a going out look. And so I take the kind of peachy tone and put it all over my lid. Then I take a little bit of more the mauve tone, which has a little bit more darkness to it. Just add a little bit to the crease. If I really want to go dramatic, I can add a little bit of that really dark color, but I tend to find that that kind of closes my eyes off, so I like that more mid-tone personally. Then I also take a smaller, more smudge brush, and I take the darkest color mixed with that middle tone pink color, and I kind of put it a little bit under my lash line and right up on the outer corner of my lash line. I do not do eyeliner on my waterline or on my top line anymore. I just have found as I've gotten older, it looks better and softer to not have that. So that is a big change for me, because for years, no matter what I did, I used to use eyeliner on my waterline. Now, if I want to, I can use that lighter color on my brow bone, maybe my inner corner. I just don't tend to feel the need. So then after I am done my eyes, I move on to my face. My go-to, guys. It is a pricey foundation, but it is by far the best foundation I have found for my skin. I am oily combination. This time of year, I tend to skew a little bit closer to the normal, almost to the dry side, and it works for me year round. It has skincare properties. It melts into your skin beautifully. It does not look heavy. It does not feel heavy. It is just a beautiful foundation. You can apply it with your fingers or with a brush. I personally prefer to apply it with a damp beauty blender. It's kind of what diffuses it the best for me. I personally, typically in the winter, I am color 3C2 Pebble, and in the summer, I am color, I think it's like 4C something, and I don't know the name of it. But then at this time of year, when I'm kind of in between, I mix them together. So I do a pump of each and I just kind of dot them all around and then really mix it in. I work this all over. I do not go under my eyes anymore. I used to be a big fan of layering under my eyes. I do not do that anymore. Then, this is gonna feel a little bit weird, right? So for me, cream contours right now, or cream bronzers, for me, for some reason, when I start doing self-tanner and I'm in the sun more, I get some blotchy patches that go up around my forehead, and it's probably, skin damage from over the years that kind of comes out as it gets nicer and I'm out walking in the sun and I'm out doing more, that when I use that, something about it at this time of year separates and makes my skin look very blotchy through here. So I tend to use, I love this bronzer. I have a little bit of a red undertone to my skin, so this is my favorite bronzer when I start getting that red, like more color to my skin. Right now I've been doing a lot of self-tanner, and this is the Laura Geller Bronze and Brighten. I think it's the color Fair. I'll put all the information down below. I use that with a fluffy brush, and I really use that. I don't put it all over my face, but I do kind of, do you remember the 3 and the E? So one side of your face is a 3, one side of your face is an E. I might have done that backwards. But I really do those areas. But I start with the contour, go up onto my forehead, then take a little bit under my jawline, and then I also touch a little bit down to my nose. Now, I have not done all of my other cream products yet, but this to me looks more blown out, looks more bronze goddess warmth to your skin, that healthy glow. Then I take the Merit, it's a concealer and foundation stick in the color Palermo, I think it's called. And I just kind of carve out a little bit down under my jawline and just a little bit right in between my brows to give me a little bit of a highlight and to really give me dimension to my face. This brush that I use from Makeup by Mario is so good. I use it for that Merit, and then I use it for my blush in just a little bit. But it really just kind of evens it out. Then I take my concealer. Now I have changed from my tried and true Hourglass that I love to the one that I use at this time of year from the Haus Labs, the Lady Gaga one. I think it's called Haus or Haus Labs, not sure. And I just put a dot. I'm not putting a ton of concealer, just a dot. And then I use an Hourglass concealer brush to really, really work that in, and I just tap it back and forth. And then I do use it to clean up that outer corner of any shadow that might have fallen. I go down around the edge of my nose and into that corner of my eye. So then I have been using a blush from Merit. I'm really liking it. Oh, it's not Le Bon Bon. I forget the name of it. I have been using it and loving it. It's kind of a pinky mauve color, has a good amount of pigmentation to it. I'm using that Makeup by Mario brush. Now I'm concentrating more on the apples and the high cheekbone. I'm not putting that where I had the bronzer into the contour. I'm just going kind of high up and then on those apples and really working it in. Now I have found that I like this after my concealer because it really kind of lifts the cheekbones up for me a little bit and kind of draws your eye and kind of gives a very diffused look up into that kind of under eye area. So these are very blended together. I feel like this really brightens up and looks really good with my skin right now. And then I have been obsessed with this new powder that I got a while ago during Sephora sale, whatever that sale was. This powder, it's called a candy powder from Kosas, and it's in the pink color. Oh my gosh, it is perfect for everything, for under my eyes, on my face. I am obsessed with it. So I take a Ulta It Cosmetics. It's supposed to be a concealer brush, but I use it for my powder, and I tap that and I go all under in those same areas, but then I also go up on my brow bone and kind of over my brows a little bit and really tap that in. Then I take that same powder with an Hourglass dual-sided brush. I love this brush. It's not a big fluffy brush, it's more concentrated, and I'm really just using that in the areas that don't have any powder right now, and by no powder I mean no bronzer. So I am using this powder just in the areas that don't have really much pigmentation, right? So no blush, no bronzer. So I'm doing in the center through here, down on my nose, around my mouth, in that area under the contour there. And then whatever left on the brush, I do go over that area that has a little bit of bronzer and a little bit of blush to it. Then I take the Hourglass blush, I think it's called in Luminous Flush, I think is the name of it. Now I'm doing this in the same area. It's kind of setting that cream blush, and it's a little bit more pink, but I'm doing it right at the apples, and I'm keeping it very high again. I'm not going down far. And I'm just doing a light dusting with a very small fluffy brush, and I'm just kind of going over that area. And I love the diffused blush, brightened look of the cheeks going in and up. Then I take a Q-tip with some water real quick. I just clean up my brows. My brows are microbladed. So I'm taking any powder, any shadow, anything off of my brows and on my lips. I do that super fast. Then I use the Kosas brow gel. I have tried so many different brow gels, and this one just works for me. I love, it's soft brown is the color I use. I just love the way it works. It helps to kind of fluff my brows up a little bit, but not too much. Then I go and curl my lashes. I always curl my lashes. It is a must-have for me. I kind of like clamp it down a couple times, then I hold it for like 10 seconds, and then I move it out a little bit, do the same thing again, and I do that on both eyes. Then my must-have, absolute love this, is the Urban Decay Subversion Lash Primer. This lash primer is a strengthener, a conditioner, all in one. I use this every single time I do my lashes, every day, without fail. It just kind of makes them a little bit more spread out. Then I go in with the Tartelette XL mascara. I love, love, love this mascara. It is a tubing mascara with a plastic bristled brush. It is so good. It does not flake. It does not transfer. It does get removed with warm water. I use a cleansing balm and warm water on a washcloth, and just it comes off beautifully. I can go swimming with it. It does not come off. So it's waterproof, I would guess, because typically I would say water resistant, but it does not move, but it's not hard to remove like a typical waterproof mascara. Love this mascara. Then I finish it off with my lips. I use the City Lips, I think it's called the Lip Defining Lip Liner in the color Mauve. This lip liner is made to stop feathering. It stays perfectly. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It is amazing. Then I fill that in with the Charlotte Tilbury. It's not their traditional Pillow Talk. They have these like new ones, and I forget the exact name of it, but it's not a super pigmented pink. It's just a light nudie pink, but it has a pink undertone to it for a nude, not a beige, which works better for me. Then I finish everything off with my Holy Grail City Lips Lip Plumping Gloss. I have been using the color Soft Peach. It's just a beautiful shine. It looks like my lips, but better. Now, my lips are the main thing that if I feel like I'm going to something where I want a brighter lip, I might add more color there. The lip liner, lipstick, and lip gloss are the three things that I may change up the most on any given day. All the rest of this stays pretty consistently the same. So I really don't change my makeup up that much, but this is what you have seen on me, whether you're following me on Instagram, you are here on YouTube, wherever you are seeing me with my face done, this is my go-to look. I feel good in it, and I never wonder how it looks. It goes with every outfit. It goes with anything I'm doing. And really, I feel the most confident in it. And that's the same as we talk about with our clothes, is finding what works for us and being confident in that and feeling like the best version of ourselves. So for me with makeup over the last couple of years, I have really learned, same as I have with my fashion and my clothing, that finding what works for me and I feel the most comfortable, the most confident, and really just feels like the best version of me is what I have really been gravitating towards and feeling the best in. So that is my go-to makeup that I use on a regular basis. If you guys are interested in seeing something similar to this with more of my everyday makeup, I change out, I would say, my eyes a little bit. I change up. I don't use foundation every day. I use a tinted SPF, and I change up my lips. My bronzer blush combo thing, concealer, all of those kind of stay the same. So I hope you enjoyed this and found this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know, and have a great weekend.